Think you've got to hustle till you collapse just to make a statement? Nah, that's outdated. Welcome to the Chill Rebellion, where you can raise hell and still take a nap. Yeah, you heard me. If you're sick of telling everyone that you have to grind 24/7 to spark real change, stick around, because today I'm going to show you exactly how to flip the script on the status quo without flipping your sanity in the process. Hey there, friend. If you're the type who's tired of being told you're too loud, you're too weird, or why can't you just do the things in the normal way, this is for you. Maybe you want to stand up for what matters, challenge the way things have always been done, but you also don't want to sacrifice your health or your precious downtime in the process. For those who are new here, hi, I'm Melanie. I'm a rebellious, spiritual mentor, mom of 6, and a hardcore believer in breaking rules that keep us small. My whole mission is to help you carve out your own path, free from burnout, free from apologizing for who you really are, and definitely free from toxic hustle culture. By the end of this, you're going to have some solid tips, maybe a giggle or two, and a fire under your ass to rebel against the norm in a way that actually sustains you. Let's start with this bizarre idea that we've all been fed. If you're not running on 3 hours of sleep, 2 pots of coffee, and adrenaline, you're not really making an impact. What? It's the same hustle culture nonsense that says you gotta outwork everyone else to matter. Early in my business journey, I genuinely believed that if I wasn't answering emails at 2 a.m., I was basically slacking. I'd brag about how exhausted I was, as if that somehow proved I was more dedicated. All it proved was that I was one meltdown away from sobbing into my keyboard. Listen, when you're too tired to form coherent sentences, you're not exactly on your A game. The world needs you at your best. Witty comebacks, brilliant insights, and all. You can't do that if you're basically a walking zombie. Have you ever felt guilty when you weren't pulling all-nighters or constantly on? I know I have. We tend to think of rebellion as some dramatic movie scene, throwing a Molotov cocktail or yelling at the corporate bigwigs in a boardroom. But you know what real rebellion can be? Setting boundaries. Telling your boss or your client, actually, no, I won't be replying to emails at midnight. That's rebellious in a culture that expects 24/7 access. Choosing rest. When everyone else is bragging about being #team no sleep, you decide to take a nap and recharge. That's not laziness. That's flipping the script. A friend of mine was told that to succeed in her field, she had to attend every networking event and hustle for 80 hours a week. Instead, she scheduled in daily walks, turned off her phone after 6 p.m., and guess what? She still grew her network because her energy was actually engaging and present when she was with people, and she just kept attracting more. That is rebellion done right. What's one small act of quiet rebellion that you've done lately? Like maybe ignoring an email after 6 p.m. or taking a mental health day. Let's dig deeper into how you actually rebel without destroying yourself. Because yes, it is possible to rebel against the system and stay sane. One thing you can do is identify your non-negotiables. Make a list of what you absolutely positively need to function at your best. Is it 7 hours of sleep, a daily walk, reading a trashy romance novel? No shame, I do it too. Those are your lines in the sand. And then communicate those boundaries. Tell the people who matter, like your partner, your team, or your kids, about these non-negotiables. Because a boundary that nobody knows about is just a wish that you'll cave on later. Expect some pushback. People will probably roll their eyes or call you selfish. Let them. Rebellion doesn't always get applause. Sometimes it gets confused stares, and that's okay. When I first started openly saying, I'm not available on weekends, I got a lot of side-eye. People were like, but that's when I do all my calls. And I was like, cool, then I'm not your girl. And guess what? I still got awesome clients who respect my boundaries. Some even appreciated the strong stance because it validated their need for rest. If you're ready to define one non-negotiable in your life, drop it in the comments. It could be as simple as no text replies after 9 p.m. or I get a guilt-free nap every Sunday. Here's a wild concept. Your energy is your biggest currency. It's worth more than money, more than status, more than an impressive resume. If you waste your energy trying to fight every single battle out there, you'll burn out. The key is deciding which battles matter most. I'm all for activism and standing up for injustice. Like your girl's been to a march or two in her life. But I also realize I can't show up to every protest or sign every petition if it means neglecting my mental health to the point where I can't function. I pick the causes closest to my heart and I go all in there. That's how I create real impact without losing myself. Which area of your life do you find drains your energy the quickest? Is it work, family drama, endless social media debates? Try not to get yourself sucked into the energy-draining rabbit holes. Rebelling doesn't mean going at full throttle every minute of the day. Sometimes the most revolutionary act is simply saying, no, I'm taking a break because my worth isn't tied to my productivity. So what are some ways that you can rest? You don't always have to be sleeping. You could take a nap. You could meditate. You could read for fun. You could binge on silly cat videos. My preference is Frenchie videos. Or just lie on the couch contemplating the universe. When your body and your mind are rested, you can come back to your rebellion with fresh ideas, clear thinking, and maybe even a better sense of humor about the whole thing. Here's a quick tip for you. Schedule your rest like an appointment. Block off time on your calendar. That might sound really unsexy, but it ensures that you won't fill every second with productive tasks. If you could take a guilt-free nap tomorrow, how long would it be? I do best with like 20 minutes. Any longer than that, I'm useless. Not every annoyance in life is worth launching a full-on revolution over. If your coworker leaves crumbs in the sink, that's annoying, but is it worth zapping all your mental energy? Probably not. Save your big guns for the stuff that truly matters to you. Your kids' well-being, your creative projects, your personal freedom, your health, or social causes that light a fire under your ass. I used to try to fix everything. Every unfair policy at my kids' schools, every neighbor's petty feud. But all that happened was that I became the neighborhood complaint box and I was exhausted. Now I advocate for issues I'm truly passionate about and let the minor stuff go. My stress levels are way down and my impact is bigger because I'm focusing my energy where it counts. True rebellion isn't random chaos. It's aligned with who you are and what you value. If you're an artist, maybe your rebellion is painting provocative murals. If you're a writer, maybe you pen scathing essays that challenge outdated norms. The point is that your rebellion should feel like you. Here's an exercise I invite you to do. Write down your top 3 values, maybe freedom, compassion, creativity, etc. Then brainstorm one action that you can take for each that challenges the status quo. That is your personalized rebellion roadmap. A client of mine valued community above all else. Her rebellion was setting up an alternative local market system where neighbors traded skills instead of money. It didn't require her to burn out. It just required her to tap into her natural knack for bringing people together. I invite you to think about if you had to pick just one core value that fuels your desire to rebel, what would it be? Give it a think. Rebellion can be emotional. It brings up frustration, excitement, anger, passion. It's all part of the package. But if you're not careful, that emotional roller coaster can leave you feeling drained. So here's how to channel that emotion without it controlling you. Breathe. When something fires you up, take a moment. Literally. Deep inhale, slow exhale. I teach my kids, I'm sure you've heard of it, the square breathing. You breathe in for the count of 4, hold it for the count of 4, breathe out for the count of 4, hold it for the count of 4, and you keep going like that. Figure out if this emotional response aligns with your bigger purpose or if you're just getting pulled into the drama of the moment. And then direct your energy. Use that emotional charge to do something constructive. Maybe write something, paint something, organize some activism, instead of letting it spiral into endless social media rants. And I invite you to maybe write this down or think about it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how intense do your emotions get when you see something you feel is wrong? I know I've had a lot of 10 out of 10 moments, especially lately. Here's your final takeaway. Rebellion doesn't mean that you have to go broke or lose sleep or live in a perpetual state of anxiety to prove how much you care. Real rebellion is honoring your values, choosing your battles, and knowing when to rest so that you can come back stronger. You're creating a life that says, I see your rules and I raise you my well-being. Think of it this way. If you burn out, you're not changing anything. You're just tired, cranky, and possibly resentful, and that doesn't help anyone. But if you approach rebellion like a marathon, pacing yourself, refueling, and staying true to what you believe, then you become a force that can't be ignored. If you're feeling that spark and you're ready to raise hell and take a nap, because yes, that's possible, here's what I invite you to do. Hit the like button if you're done buying into the myth that you have to grind yourself into dust to make a difference. Comment with your biggest aha moment. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we've got more snarky, life-shifting, hustle-busting content on the way. And follow me on Substack for deeper dives, personal stories, and weekly tips to help you stay energized and rebellious in a world that wants you to burn out. And remember, you're allowed to care deeply without setting yourself on fire. Keep that flame burning at just the right temperature, and you'll do more good and feel a hell of a lot better doing it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Keep rebelling, keep resting, and keep being unapologetically you.